Hello students, now we are going to see the subject of commerce. This is the continuation of Unit 9, Entrepreneurship Development. For previous class we have saw entrepreneurship concept, meaning, definition, then characteristics, then importance of entrepreneurship, entrepreneur, intrapreneur and manager. For this class we are going to see women entrepreneurs and their opportunities and challenges and entrepreneur functions. Now, women entrepreneurs. So here we can see the introduction for women entrepreneurs. Women entrepreneur, it may be defined as a woman or group of women who initiate, organize and run a business enterprise. So Government of India has defined women entrepreneurs as owning and controlling an enterprise with a woman having a minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of the employment generated in the enterprise to women. This is called to be as an women entrepreneurs. This is the definition for women entrepreneurs. According to Jay's Computer, women who innovate, initiate or adopt business actively are called women entrepreneurs. And according to Ruhani J. Alice, women entrepreneurship is based on women participation in equity and employment of a business enterprises. These are the definitions of women entrepreneurs which was given by Jay's Computer and Ruhani J. Alice. The next one is opportunities for women entrepreneurs. There are so many opportunities which was given, and the first one is opportunities based on business, and the second opportunity is financial opportunity, and the third one is non-financial support. The fourth one is opportunities created by association, and the fifth one is opportunities created by government, and the sixth one is opportunities created through training programs, and the last one is CWEI, Consortium of Women Entrepreneurs of India. These are the opportunities for women entrepreneurs. So here the first opportunity is opportunities based on business. So here some of the following opportunities are given under different spheres of commerce. Under this, the first one is in the sphere of manufacturing, women can start ventures like agarbatti manufacturing, then puppet making, then bedspread making, embroidery, export of handicrafts, apparel manufacturing, sweet stalls, manufacturing soft drinks, pickle making, manufacturing garments, handicrafts, printing press, etc. In the sphere of service industries, women entrepreneurs may try their hand in ventures like catering service, computer centers, tutorial centers, typewriting institutes, then beauty parlors, dry cleaning, small restaurants, tailoring, crèche, florist shops, event management, etc. In the realm of trading ventures, women can enter the ventures like fancy stores, diagnostic centers, milk distribution, sweet stalls, drug stores, then grocery stores, textile retailing, cool drinks parlor, coffee parlor, cell phone repairs, photo studios, photocopier firms, working women's hostel, etc. So highly educated, experienced and broadly exposed women technocrats can start larger venture like running hospitals, coaching centers, diagnostic laboratories, manufacturing activities which is suited to their field of specialization, advertisement and media firms, call centers, etc. The second opportunity is financial opportunities. Here, all banks in India provide financial support to the women entrepreneur in the form of micro small loans to buy raw materials and equipments. So this is the second opportunity. And the third one is non-financial support. Here, women entrepreneurs are provided with the following non-financial support. They are, the first one is putting in policies regulations and legal structures which is suitable for women entrepreneurs. And the second one is financial counseling and training. Then business advisory service. And the fourth one is handling legal barriers. The fifth one is establishing commercial linkages, and the sixth one is client research, and the seventh one is profitability and efficiency analysis, and the eighth one is offering and designing the products which is based on their needs, and the ninth one is lower rate of interest, the 10th one is collateral free loans, the 11th one is simplified processing system, and the last one is flexible repayment system which is based on business nature. The next opportunity is opportunities created by associations. There are various associations like self-help groups, that is SHG, then Federation of Indian Women Entrepreneurs, then Women's India's Trust, Small Industries Development Organization, National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development which is called as a NABARD, then Self-Employed Women's Association, Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Karnataka, the International Center for Entrepreneurship and Career Development, then Tamil Nadu Corporation for Development of Women Limited, Marketing Organization of Women Enterprises, Women Entrepreneurs Promotion Association, Women Entrepreneurs Association of Tamil Nadu. These are the opportunities which is created by some association, and also this is aggressively promoting the women entrepreneurship in India. This is called to be as an opportunities created by association. The next one is opportunities created by government. Here the government has given so many schemes for the women entrepreneurship. So here the first one is Stand Up India scheme for women entrepreneurs. The second one is Trade Related Entrepreneurship Assistance and Development Scheme for Women. And the third one is Mahila Koir Yojana. And the fourth one is Mahila E-Hat. And the fifth one is Magalir Udavi Scheme. Sixth one is Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. The seventh one is Development of Women and Children in Rural India. And the eighth one is Mudra Yojana Scheme for Women. And the ninth one is Udyogini Scheme. And the last one is Training Rural Youth for Self-Employment. The next one is opportunities created through training program. Under this, the first one is support for training and employment program of women. Second one, development of women and children in rural areas. Third one, small industry service institutes. And the fourth one, state financial corporation. And the fifth one is National Small Industries Corporation, and the sixth one is District Industrial Centers. The last opportunities is Consortium of Women Entrepreneurs of India. Under this, the first point is they are acting as a springboard for enterprises which is started by the women. And the second one is it is helping women achieve high economic empowerment. The third one is it is acting as a catalyst to improve the access of women folk to natural resources. And the fourth one is it is providing technological support in the sphere of product design and development in the case of women-owned enterprises. And the fifth one is it is providing a quality control, marketing and technological supports to women-owned enterprises. And the last one is it is spreading knowledge to women entrepreneurs about various government schemes. So these are all about the opportunities for women entrepreneurs. Now we are going to see challenges of women entrepreneurs. Though there is a tremendous growth in the women entrepreneurship in India, a number of research studies conducted in India have brought out the following problems and challenges which was encountered by women entrepreneurs during the course of their entrepreneurial journey. So under this, these are those challenges. The first one is problem of finance, limited mobility, lack of education, lack of network support, stiff competition, sensitivity, lack of information and dependent culture. These are the challenges of women entrepreneurs. Now we are going to see problem of finance. The access of women to external sources of funds is limited as they do not generally own properties in their own name. Financial institutions too do not consider women in general creditworthy as they are skeptical of their entrepreneurial capabilities of women. Because of the limited funds, women entrepreneurs are not able to effectively and efficiently run and expand their business. This is called problem of finance. Next is limited mobility. Indian women cannot afford to shed their household responsibilities towards their family even after they plunge into the ventures started by them. This restricts the mobility of women entrepreneur significantly. This is called to be as a limited mobility. Next one is lack of education. Illiterate and semi-literate women entrepreneurs encounter a lot of challenges in their entrepreneurial journey with respect to maintaining accounts, understanding money matters, day-to-day operations of the companies, marketing the products, applying technology, etc. This may reduce the efficiency of operating the business successfully. The next is lack of network support. The successful operation of any venture, irrespective of the size, depends upon the network of support extended by various constituencies like family members, friends, relatives, neighbors, institutions, and so on. But it is reported that women entrepreneurs get very limited support in time of crisis from most of these constituencies. The next one is stiff competition. Women entrepreneurs have to face acute competition for their goods from organized sector and from their male counterparts. Since they are not able to spend liberally due to financial constraints, they are not able to compete effectively and efficiently in the market. This is called stiff competition. The next one is sensitivity. Women are more prone to a variety of emotions. Being mother, women are vulnerable to many emotions. They tend to have sympathy and empathy for others. This trait does not allow women entrepreneurs to take objective decisions in many contexts during the course of running the entrepreneurial business. The next one is lack of information. Women entrepreneurs are reported not to be generally aware of subsidies and incentives available for them due to their poor literacy levels or due to their preoccupation with household responsibilities. This lack of knowledge or limited knowledge about subsidies prevents them from availing themselves of special concessions, benefits, and incentives awarded by governments and other agencies. And the last one is dependent culture. In India, women, however educated and talented, are groomed to be dependent on their parents, life partners, and children during the various phases of their life cycle. They could not take decisions on their own in many contexts due to their dependency factor. They have to take permission from their support groups to engage in any purposeful and gainful activity. This cultural barrier does not allow them to start and manage their ventures according to their free will and pleasures. This is called to be as a dependent culture, and these are all about the challenges which was faced by the woman. The next topic is we are going to see is entrepreneurial functions. Under this entrepreneurial functions, it was classified into three types: promotional functions, managerial functions, and commercial functions. First, we are going to see promotional functions. So promotional functions is classified as discovery of idea, determining the business perspective, detailed investigation, choice of form of enterprise, fulfillment of the formalities, preparation of business plan, mobilization of funds, and procurement. Thus, managerial functions is classified into planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and coordination. Commercial functions is classified into production, manufacturing, and marketing, accounting, finance, human resource management. These are all about the entrepreneurial functions. Under this, the first one is promotional functions. Under this promotional function, the first one is discovery of idea. The first and foremost function of an entrepreneur is idea generation. A person may conceive his own ideas or develop the ideas which is contributed by others. Ideas can be generated through several ways like own experience and exposure of entrepreneur, keen observation of environment, education, training, then market survey, environmental scanning and so on. This will comes under this discovery of idea. Second one is determining the business objectives. Here, the entrepreneur has to develop business objectives in the backdrop of nature of business and type of business activity. That is, nature of business, manufacturing or trading, type of business organization chosen so that he or she can organize the venture in accordance with the objectives which is determined by him or her. This is called to be as determining the business objectives. And the next one is detailed investigation. Here, the entrepreneur has to analyze in detail the product proposes to produce. In other words, entrepreneur should investigate commercial feasibility of the product proposed to be produced and conduct market study to ascertain the potential demand for the product. This is called to be as a detailed investigation. Next, choice of form of enterprise. Here, the entrepreneur has to choose the appropriate form of organization suited to implement the venture. There are various forms of organization, namely sole proprietor, partnership, company and cooperatives, etc., which are in existence. This is called to be as a choice of form of enterprise. The next one is fulfillment of the formalities. Having chosen the appropriate type of organization, entrepreneur has to take necessary steps to establish the form of organization chosen. As regards of sole trader, the formalities are barest minimum. In the case of partnership firm, entrepreneur has to arrange for partnership deed and he has to get the deed registered. This is called to be as a fulfillment of the formalities. Next, preparation of business plan. Entrepreneur has to prepare a business plan or project report of the venture that he is proposing to take up. This plan helps the entrepreneur to achieve various objectives which is formulated within a specified period of time. The next one, mobilization of funds. Entrepreneur has to take steps to mobilize capital needed to implement the venture. Entrepreneur has to estimate the fixed capital and working capital which is required for running the project. And the last one is procurement of machines and materials. Here, the entrepreneur has to locate the various sources of supply of machineries and equipments and materials. Entrepreneur has to collect details from the various sources of supply and screen them for selecting the best source of supply. So these are all about the promotional functions of entrepreneur. The next topic is managerial function. Under this, it has classified into 5 types. The first one is planning, directing, organizing, staffing, and the last one is controlling. Under this, the first one is planning. Under planning, entrepreneur has to lay down the objectives, goals, vision, mission, policies, procedures, programs, budgets, schedules, etc. for enabling the venture to proceed towards the established destinations. This is called to be as a planning. And the next one is organizing. Entrepreneurs puts in place suitable organizational structure to perform various managerial functions, namely choosing the type of organization, creating department, fitting the human resources to appropriate organization slots, defining and delegating authority, distributing responsibility, and creating accountability for efficient performance of the activities. So this is called to be as an organizing. The next one is directing. In the realm of directing, entrepreneur has to motivate, lead, guide and communicate with subordinates on an ongoing basis in order to accomplish preset goals. The process of directing involves issuing orders and instructions, guiding, counseling and mentoring of employees, supervising employees, maintaining discipline, motivating employees, and even providing leadership. These are all will comes under this directing. The next one is controlling. Entrepreneur has to put in mechanism to evaluate the performance of employees across the organization. So here the various steps involved in control function includes fixing performance standards, measuring the actual performance, comparing the actual performance with the standards, finding out causes for deviation if any, undertaking the corrective measures to bring the actual performance to standards set. So this is called to be as a controlling. The last one is coordination. Entrepreneur has to evolve mechanism to pull together the diverse functions performed by various departments or teams and direct them towards the established goals of the organization for the accomplishment. So these are all about the managerial functions. And the next one is commercial functions. Under this, the first point is production or manufacturing. Under production function, entrepreneur has to take decision relating to selection of factory site, design and layout, types of products to be manufactured, research and development, product design, etc. Next one is marketing. Entrepreneur has to carry out following functions pertaining to marketing aspect, namely consumer research, product planning and development, standardization, packaging, pricing, warehousing, distribution, promotion, etc. The very success of marketing function is very much linked with selection of appropriate marketing mix. The next one is accounting. Entrepreneur has to arrange to prepare trading and profit and loss account in order to know the profit or loss incurred out of operation of the business and prepare balance sheet to know the financial status of business at a particular day. So we have to prepare accounting to know the financial statement of the business. And the next one is finance. In the sphere of financial function, an entrepreneur has to take decisions like choosing the right type of financing, framing the best dividend policy, acquiring of funds, efficiently managing fixed and current assets, maximizing the shareholders' wealth, and investing of funds efficiently and effectively. So these are all about the meaning of finance. And the last one is human resource management. Entrepreneur has to estimate the manpower needs of the enterprise and accordingly decide the size of manpower required for various slots of organizational structure. So this is called to be as a human resource management, and these are all about the commercial functions of entrepreneur. Now assignment. The first question is explain the commercial functions of entrepreneur. Explain the commercial functions of entrepreneur. And the second question is discuss the problems faced by women entrepreneurs. Discuss the problems faced by women entrepreneurs. Thank you.